you guys. Hi, everybody. Hi, LOLeros. How are you? Yeah, me again, Rachel La Loca.
Right.
And this is the part of the show where we interview someone amazing, or this time around, I'm going to say have a conversation with someone amazing, because I wouldn't say that this is like an interview per se, although I have a lot of questions. And I know I'm going to have a lot of questions after what he talks about. So I want to like introduce this as somewhat of a titled piece we like to call Pesante's Picks.
Yeah.
Ramon Pesante.
Yeah.
Building, yo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
His picks, picante or not, they're going to be his picks.
All right.
Tune in to see what makes the list. I'm too excited. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm too excited.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Pasante picks. We just came up with that. This is amazing.
All right.
See, let me tell you something. 10 years ago, a pick from Pasante would have been something else.
Whoa! Wow.
But I'm 43 now. I'm too old to be doing those things. But I'm not. You're never too old to watch movies, and this is where we really just, look. We're reflecting on what happened in 2022. A lot of good, a lot of bad.
Yeah.
A lot of, but the one thing that I think that always brings us all together is movies.
Yep.
I'm very, and that's what I love, and this is why I ignore the news now, and I just watch movies and TV shows and cartoons and YouTube stuff about movies.
Good.
I love that.
Yeah, and so I'm just always excited when people talk to me about, this, Frank. Like when we talk,
of course, man.
Rachel, the moment you guys ask me about a movie, I'm not like, oh, it was all right.
You light up.
You light up.
I light up because it's like, let's talk about something that we all can just say we saw and we hated, we liked, whatever, So yeah, I have a list of movies. Originally I had 5 movies that I liked, but it's really hard. It's really hard. So I it's a little more than 5. I'm not saying it's like beyond that. But these are the movies that I was like, wow, this is great, especially in a time now where we have to say that the movies haven't been as great as they used to be. We can agree on that, right?
Is that because of the pandemic, maybe?
No. I think that we haven't had rewatchable movies that we can sit with in a long time. I mean, yes, the pandemic did add to that. I feel like in 2019 there was Endgame. There was so many exciting blockbuster movies out that were like, this is great. But like, honestly, even before, and I love superhero movies. I do. Right. But I will say that, Hollywood has switched their focus and they just focus on what's the most profitable and safe. It's like a safe bet. It's like when you're on Robinhood, right? And you're looking, and then you're going, okay, who am I going to invest in? All right, well, I'm going to invest in Disney because Disney's dope. Disney's always going to do great. People go to the theme parks. They come out with great cartoons. Kids love Disney. So you have to think about Hollywood thinks like that. Thinks like, oh, but you know what? Everybody knows Spider-Man. So we're going to make a Spider-Man movie because we know that is an IP. We've got big names. That's a win. And you have to understand something. When you have like a big blockbuster Hollywood movie with IP and big names, and if it fails, no one loses their job. But if you make a bet on a movie that's different, that's swinging for the fences, but it's not an IP or doesn't have those guaranteed things, people lose their jobs. It's easier for people to go, look, I had The Rock. Is a DC movie. We had Henry Cavill came in the movie, and how can we lose? So people are like, okay, you can keep your job because The Rock is the biggest movie star in the world, right? So yeah, that makes sense. So that's how Hollywood thinks. They think safe. But in 2022, it seems like those grown folks movies that we used to love, right? Like think about that movie Whiplash. How great was Whiplash? And they did La La Land. Same directors did La La Land. He
Right.
came out with a movie called Babylon that nobody went to see. Think about David O. Russell. David O. Russell did American Hustle. He did Silver Lining Playbook, Three Kings, movies that you're like, yo, I love that movie. I go back and see it anytime, whenever. He came out with a movie called Amsterdam, tanked. Like, so like you have all these movies that are like trying to still deliver things to the people that take movies very seriously, and they're becoming duds. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
this list that I have is not only a reflection of that, but what could be coming in the future as far as movie going experience, right?
Your perspective your perspective is impressive, I have to say.
Oh,
wow.
Thank you.
Right, Frank? It goes
I haven't said a word, Rachel. When I'm quiet and you're quiet, it must be something good.
Super quiet. Yeah, I mean, I love hearing you talk, Ramon. You give very interesting perspective.
Well, listen, we got to pay attention, and I pay attention to this. Ask me about anything else. I don't know nothing. I don't know any, but this I know a lot about because I sit, I watch, I debate with my friends, I watch on YouTube. So let's talk about.
Should Frank and I sidebar and play a game of chess or something while you do this? You want to take over the podcast?
I want you guys.
Take over the show. You can have it. No. Here. Take it.
Yeah, just take it off, Ramon. Take it off. Just take it off. But no, but
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, first off, I want to ask you guys, what movies have you seen and do you remember liking this year?
Oh my gosh, that's really hard. Probably kids stuff. Was it Toy Story that came out this year? No, it wasn't. Was it Toy Story? What did we go?
But Lightyear came out this year.
That's it. We went to go see that. Oh, and the Minions movie was fantastic. Didn't another let me tell you, that was a really memorable experience. And I'll tell you why. I've said this before on the podcast. I really appreciate when there's entertainment for everyone in the room, for everyone in the theater. And I think the Minions movies do that really well, where they like cater to the adults that are there with the children watching the film. So there's some secrets written into the script or, written in there that I think are just for us. So it has me paying attention to all the Minion movies, word for word, even down to when the Minions speak. Because, they speak their language, but dead ass, this last Minions movie had mad Spanish. I was paying attention. I was like, this is them. Ramon's talking about it earlier, catering to what sells, what's in the market, and who's in the movie theater. Latinos are in the movie theaters. I understood everything the Minions was saying. I feel like I speak Minion now. There was a lot of Spanish words. Anyway,
so
Frank?
I wanted to say, Frank, go ahead. What movie?
Well, I want to be honest with you guys. I always say this to Rachel. I think I watched so much MTV. I cut school like through junior high school, and I watched so much MTV and so many movies that I've stopped going to the movie theater. And I'm 51. I fall asleep. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't been to a movie theater in a lot of years.
He's honest.
Well, no, not just in the movies. Like, has a movie you've seen at home streaming? Because my list does include.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the only series that I've watched in over 10 years, and that's Manhunter on Netflix.
Manhunter is a great show.
Once I binge watched it right through. And I'm very picky because I'm in the industry and I catch on to things, and I tend to stop looking after a while. If it doesn't catch my attention, I just drop off.
You know why? This is what happens. This is now what happens. You're watching something, and this is what happens. Look.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
Terrible.
Thank you. I tell that to people in the laptop. That in the laptop. Oh, thank you. Right. Thank you, Ramon. You know why no one says that? And I tell it to everybody. Ramon just put his phone up. I think now people have a habit of watching, and we have ADD, and we watch something. I watch something on TV, and the phone comes up or the laptop, and it takes away my attention. So if it doesn't grab me, like really, really grab me by the shirt, it doesn't really grab me. So I have an issue like really focusing on watching a film. But I love watching love watching The Godfather and old films from back then that you could just sit down and watch a whole film like 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Yes.
Listen, there's a lot of movies that I wanted to add. there's a lot of movies I wanted to add, but I had to, really, like hunker down and go, what stuck with me? What stuck with me?
That's really, that's a good phrase.
So, and what made me go like this?
I want to know,
filter. Great
what
filter.
made me put my phone down, face down, and go, I'm not touching that. That's the challenge.
Filter.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
I like that.
So the first movie on my list, right?
Right.
Drum roll.
Okay. Everything, Anywhere. I'm sorry. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Ooh.
I thought this film was one of the most, I thought it's an indie film that went into the movies that was a surprise hit that no one saw coming.
Hey.
I thought Jamie Lee Curtis on doing high kicks and doing these like big kung fu moves, and I just thought that they took a lot of this stuff, right? And also what was great about it is that it came out in the time where Spider-Man No Way Home came out and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness came out. It was the timing of it. It was about multiversing, right? Multiverse.
Oh man, I'm big on that. Right. Ramon. You know that. I want to get in the multiverse one day. I want to go there.
Yeah, no, you are there. You are there, Frank.
Okay.
You are there, but you just don't know it. Okay. But so Anything Everywhere All at Once was live kung fu, and there was a lot of like interesting kung fu stuff that they brought back from the old kung fu days, and they brought it into this live feature film, and they did it all in one. Like mainly, most of the film was shot in this one building, so it's like I can always like look at a film and go, wow, they made this for how many $1 million? They made this for what, $2, $3, $4 million, and now the movie is made over $100 million in the movies. You know what I mean? That's a success, and it just felt. It contextualized Asian culture, right? It didn't, you know what I mean? It the kung fu culture, right? And they just really brought it back to the basics, and I really love that about that film. You know. So
Ramon, these are like the films from like back in the days, the kung fu films, like Drunken Master and all that.
They take all of that and they bring it in this new movie. And you know who comes back?
Ooh.
Do you remember Data? Do you remember Data from Goonies?
Okay, sounds familiar.
They brought him back, and my man was doing kung fu with a fanny pack, like it was like it was awesome. It was nunchucks. You know what I mean? It was like this was like. It was great callback, great script.
Wow.
Highly recommend this film. Sit with it, put the phone down, and it's multiverse done in a way where it didn't need Marvel money to do it.
Wow. Right? By the way, Goonies is one of Jamie's top 5 films of all time. So
it's a phenomenal movie. It's a phenomenal
he has to go see it for sure.
All right, let's keep it going.
All right, next film. Nope.
Oh my God.
Jordan Peele's Nope. Have you seen that movie yet?
Listen, I haven't seen that movie, but conspiracy theorists are saying that movie is about clouds and UFOs hiding in clouds. And listen. I'm not gonna. Rachel knows this. Rachel knows this about me. I have a story that I need to tell, and it's not for this podcast. But me and some people saw something in a cloud many years ago, and I'm not gonna go into it.
I can't wait.
So Ramon, tell me about this. Please tell me about this film. I'm gonna freak out.
So Nope. What I loved about Nope is that Jordan Peele gives every character in their film a purpose.
Okay.
They have a backstory. You know, when you watch a movie, you have the main character, you have the main character, and it's all about them. This is a film where every character has a purpose to the greater story, the big story, right? Which is, of course, that you've got this. I don't want to give anything away. Round object that's floating around past the clouds, right? But the film starts off very like where it's kind of off-putting, where we see it. I'll tell you what it opens. It opens to a television show, right? where a monkey has just massacred a cast member because it was a sitcom with a monkey in it, and the monkey just went nuts and nearly killed this little girl. And it's like, what does that have to do with flying saucers? You watch the film and you really get into it. This is craftsmanship. This is character craftsmanship and story structure that I just really enjoy. But I love Jordan Peele, and I love that he is one of the few directors that are able to come up with an original idea and is able to get greenlit, because original things don't get greenlit anymore. It's not an IP. Jordan Peele is the IP, and that's why he's able to do it.
And this is Get Out. This is Jordan Peele, right?
It's called right. He did Get Out, and then he did Get Out, and then he did Us, and now Nope. And again, and I really don't like when people go, Nope, was as good as Get Out. It wasn't. I'm like, don't do that. Nobody watches a Spielberg movie and go, was it as good as Jaws? No. So don't do that to Jordan Peele. But I think Nope is definitely worth sitting through. Another cool trick that they did in this film, and they shot these night scenes in the daytime and then they darkened it. They probably used these filters on the camera to make sure that it felt like nighttime. So there'll be times when they're at nighttime, but there's other times when it's daytime but altered and edit that it's nighttime. So I challenge you to go and see one of those moments that they do that.
Wow.
It was amazing.
I'm gonna go check that out.
So the next,
I love this so much. I just have to say, shout out to the craftsmanship in writing a script, and when you put so much thought. And you're right, and the reason why I bring up Get Out is Jordan Peele's style has proven to be so layered that you must watch everything, hear every word. I'm sure you didn't pick up your phone during this film, right?
Nope. Well, I was in the movie, so my phone was down anyway.
Ramon, I got a question for you. Question for you. Get Out and Nope. Does it I know Get Out had that racial layer. Does Nope have that? And I think Jordan Peele he's a genius for that.
And this is not a black film though. This is a film. You know what I mean? And I think that people like to throw Jordan Peele's film. Of course, Jordan Peele doesn't mind calling his film a black film. He's like, F you, it's a black film. But it's like, no, this is a film. You don't need to compartmentalize this.
I like that.
It's a thriller. It's a thriller horror movie, and it was good. Right. You know what I mean? And I will say this, and I think this is what I pay attention to most, is that filmmakers care about your experience in the theater, and that is the only thing that we have left. Is you're thinking about what the person is experiencing in the theater, and that's what's keeping. That is your only lifeline to keep people going to the movies. Is you care about their experience.
Yeah.
Question. I'm not trying to interrupt Pesante's picks. Do you think filmmakers should start thinking about the at-home experience as well, just given the trends of films being consumed at home?
Ooh.
Yes, but the thing is that you don't know how people watch movies at home. People have their own little personal theaters, but you have people that like to watch movies with their phone on. People like to watch stuff when they're cooking in the kitchen or playing with their kids, or they just throw a movie on to keep the kids quiet. You don't know, but at least when you're in the movies, but yes, of course you have to consider, how people are receiving this. It's very important to think that way.
You're making us think here. That's why I asked,
wow.
As a filmmaker, which you are, I think that's really interesting as criteria, as a filter. How are the people consuming this content, in a movie theater, but nowadays, and even us as podcasters, I think we have to challenge ourselves into formulating the content to be consumed in the variety of ways that 2023 will allow, and maybe just thinking about each different experience and what we as content creators could do to cater to the attention span, the situation. Are you on a couch? Are you in your bed? When you're on mobile, you're consuming movies and social media wherever the hell your phone is. So anyway, I digress, but this is really stimulating conversation. Ramon Pesante, I knew it was going to get deep like this. I don't want it to get too deep. Look at what time it is, guys. I'm just
I got you. All right. We're going to speed this up. All right.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. I can't freaking believe they did this. I thought this was gonna tank. But again, Tom Cruise cares about the movie experience. So my man was in the jet. They were in jets. They were in all types of jets. All this stuff was real for the most part. Like maybe 10% of the film had some CG.
Hold on. Val Kilmer's voice wasn't real. I heard that Val Kilmer's voice was brought in. That's the only thing that I heard wasn't real.
Right. I believe that was his son's voice, in fact.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, interesting.
His son did it because his son narrated his voice for his documentary on Amazon Prime because he has throat cancer.
Yes.
But Tom Cruise, he cares about the movie experience. You're gonna spend $30 to sit in a dark room. You're gonna have the best time of your life. And if you haven't seen Top Gun, unfortunately, it's too late. But if you want to go see a great movie, have a great movie experience, like Frank, if they bring a movie that you're like, I really want to see this because it's a big blockbuster film, go to the AMC IMAX theater in Lincoln Square.
Oh yeah, no, they're the best. Yeah, I agree.
Best theater in the best theater in the city, the whole city. All right, next film.
Woo! Lincoln Square.
Nice.
Okay.
The next film is called Prey.
Prey.
Yep.
Do you know? Prey is basically remember the Predators, the Predator movies?
Yes, right. I saw a picture of it. Wow, it looked crazy, man.
Yeah, I saw
it came out on Hulu. It didn't go in the movies. I don't know why. But I think it's because Disney, when they bought 20th Century Fox, that was one of the franchises that they brought in. And I think Prey was already in production when Disney finished purchasing Fox. So they were like, what are we going to do with this? And they go, put it on as an original film on Hulu. What I love about Prey is it's about a Native American going up against a predator. And it's literally this Native American girl with her bow and arrow and her dog against a predator. And it was amazing. And the best part is that the colonizers, the imperialists, they get ripped apart by the predator.
Wow. Finally. Yes. Por fin.
Yes. So you can see that at home, Hulu, phone down.
Okay.
But you enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. And it's just the story, because they came out with a bunch of Predator movies that just wasn't it. They kept trying and trying. I would say the third one was okay, but my favorite so far, I love part one, of course, because it's just guys in the jungle, Schwarzenegger against a predator. Yeah. And then the second one, Danny Glover and the future and at Los Angeles. I'm like, this is great. You know, but then the other ones, they really tried. They tried to go superhero with it too. It was just so bad. But this one was literally about going back to basics, survival. And, and when you got a dog involved, you're like, is a dog gonna make it?
Wow, it's like Legend almost,
that's all I'm thinking about. Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. All right. But yes, I would recommend Prey, definitely.
Okay,
all right.
Prey.
Got it. Number 5.
Got it.
Number 5, Avatar 2.
Oh, I heard it was good, man. I haven't heard nothing bad about it.
The ingenuity. Go see it in IMAX 3D as soon as you can.
Oh, okay.
It's
IMAX
it is 3 hours. Okay. So just
Pesante, can I tell you one thing only? That's the only film when I saw number 1 that when I got up, I had equilibrium and I almost fell off. But it was worth it, bro. I saw it on shrooms, by the way.
Well,
okay.
I don't know if it was the shrooms or I don't know if it was.
I don't recommend the shrooms.
Okay, no. Some people have told me that that film. No, you know what? There's a guy I just read about, a guy that had a heart attack, I believe, after he saw the film. And I've heard a lot of people that the equilibrium goes off because you're seeing it. It's almost like being in the metaverse, and it really affects you. So I don't know if I was affected by the shrooms or actually the film itself. But continue, Ramon. Sorry.
But this is again. James Cameron, the director, he cares about the movie experience. Okay, he cares about people coming to the movies, right? And he put his all into this movie. It took 10 years to make this movie. So you go in, you put on them 3D glasses, and you get consumed into this world. And I mean, listen, the story is not very hard to figure out, right? Which is
the colonizers again. The colonizers again.
Yes, that's it. The colonizers are back. You know what I mean? So, but it's like, wow, man, I feel like I didn't waste my freaking money coming to the movies. All right. So, and I think that it's just, definitely worth your money and worth your time. It's 3 hours. Go, Rachel, go on a date, or Frank, go on a date and just sit and just watch the movie and enjoy. Go early in the day. You're not leaving too late.
Ramon, can Rachel take the kids?
No.
Okay.
3 hours? Are you out of your mind?
No, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could fly in there and feel like they're in the middle. But if it's not for kids, it's not for kids.
And it's not that it's not for kids because of that. It's just the kids. It's a 3-hour movie.
Right.
Like,
okay.
I mean, this is a movie for an adult movie experience where you're like, wow, that looked amazing. That looked incredibly real. And then you also see little hints and inspirations of Terminator 2. Aliens, Titanic. You see all that in there. Yes. You see all the things that says James Cameron in there.
So Ramon, you were happy after you saw obviously the first one. The second one didn't disappoint you at all.
No, not at all.
Okay,
not at all.
Interesting.
Worth your time. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
All right. So a couple honorable mentions. We won't spend as much time. Triangle of Sadness. Holy crap. It's just another movie about, social class, and it's just really crazy. Just rich people on a boat and just seeing them like billionaires on a boat, just completely getting like the shit kicked out of them, which I loved.
Ramon, this gave me Titanic vibes.
Well, listen, so I'm gonna spoil this because I think it's great. Okay. Yeah. The boat sinks.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't sink actually. It gets pirates come and take over the boat.
Okay.
Right? Snap. And then so basically one of the people that would clean in the bottom of the boat, she was this Asian woman, older Asian woman. She cleans the bottom of the boat, right? She survives and goes on the island along with the billionaires. But the billionaires and rich people don't know how to survive on an island. So the little Asian woman is the provider, and they're like, well, they try to tell her what to do.
What?
And they try to say, and she's like, do you know how to cook? Do you know how to fish? And they're like, I'm number one in here.
Love it.
Hey, yo, that movie stuck with me. You can watch it at home. It doesn't have to be in the movies. But just seeing disgusting billionaires get the way they get it, it's just amazing. Another movie, Woman King. Good film.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the trailer. Is this a spin-off or like a Black? Is this a Black Panther spin-off?
No. This is completely something that's based on true events.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
And it's based around the times of when African tribes were capturing their fellow Africans and trading them off to the colonizers. So it goes into that. I know there's been some inaccuracies about the stories. So I think that don't go into your expectation. Of course, it's based on some of the events that have happened, of course, but go in with a blind eye. Just a bunch of badass Black women just kicking the shit out of dudes. I loved it.
So this I see that this was like a true story about a group of African warriors that actually really this happened. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just badass. Like, Rachel, you're gonna just rip. You're
gonna come out of there like Bruce Lee.
You're gonna want to.
I'm scared. I'm gonna want to.
You're gonna want to fight. You're gonna want to fight a dude. But
I might have to go axe throwing or something after I see that film, which I hear is a thing. I hear people go axe throwing now.
Okay, let's move quick. Last one, my honorable mentions is Bodies with Pete Davidson. Bodies is basically the epitome of Gen Z. It's a horror. It's like supposed to be a horror. Who done it? Someone dies, and it's just a bunch of Gen Zers in a mansion with cell phone lights trying to. But it's not even the plot that gets you. It's the way they are talking, and it's the way they are like, you're silencing me, you're gaslighting me. It's just the perfect.
Wow, it sounds like the new kids nowadays. Okay.
Yes, it is. That's why I love it, because it's like. So I took my wife, because she works with kids. I'm not saying where, like college kids, right? And she was disgusted, not because she hated the film, because she hated these kids because they sound just like the kids.
Just like
an accurate depiction.
It's an accurate depiction of Gen Z and everything wrong with Gen Z.
So this is about some soft ass kids, right? Some soft ass kids in a mansion.
Emo
Oh my God.
Some emo kid. Okay, got it.
Watch it at home. It's hilarious. It's nuts. It's not that long, but it's like a good horror whodunit, but it's like really about how it got done and it just how these kids are just completely so misguided and it's crazy.
Wow.
All right, so
down another world.
That's my list. That's
wow.
Pesante picks of
Ooh.
what happened in 22, which again, it wasn't a great year in movies, but I was able to weed out and find stuff that really stuck with me. Listen, I love Marvel. Great. I went to all the Marvel movies. I've seen better Marvel movies in the past. So none of them made my list. But you never know. Maybe next year they'll make my list, and that's great. All right.
That was amazing. What a recap of 2022. I feel like such a slacker. Like I haven't gone to the movies enough because this is all great. And your perspective is so interesting in breaking down the different elements that you liked from each film and what we should be doing. I mean, you gave us a lot of gems here, Ramon Pesante. For the first episode or first segment of Pesante's Picks, that was freaking amazing.
Jesus Thank you. Christ.
Listen, it's just about, it's about the making the possible and dreaming. And that's what movies are, and that's what all I want to do is just dream and imagine and have a good time when I'm doing it. And I believe there's still movies out there that care about how we experience that, you know what I mean? And how, and how we view it. And I just hope that, people keep going to the movies. Don't give up on movies. Because I think people are, I think they are. They're resorting to TikTok. So it's scary. There's nothing wrong with TikTok, but just like separate it. It doesn't have to be TikTok or the movies.
Cinema, what I mean? People. It's like cinema. There's nothing like that in the world. Okay, I have a bold question to ask right now. This was so fantastic. Would you come back and tell us about the films that we need to be on the lookout for in 2023 for another installment of
Pesante? We can.
Ay, mi madre.
I already have stuff in mind. I already have
no, incredible. Ay, mamacita.
So this sounds like a recurring thing. Pesante's Picks sounds very appealing to me. I love the alliteration in the phrase, and I just love what you bring to it. Wow, Ramon Pesante. Can we please put our hands together one time for the amazing Ramon Pesante and Pesante's Picks?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ramon, tell everybody where to follow you, because you also put some interesting stuff on social, and you also have a film yourself that you made. You made a film.
Yes.
So proud of you.
Thank you, Ramon _Pesante, and I have a film called Playing Sam coming out about a Latina actress that's finding her voice and is trying to break out of the stereotype of what they think a Latina should be, and she's just trying to be herself and how she achieves that.
Ramon, can you fill us in real quick? How was it shooting the movie? What obstacles you went through? Because shooting films for us, we go through a lot of obstacles, and the people that starred in, I know Mark Rainey's and also. So just tell us really quick how that experience was for you.
So in short, the experience was very it was a very inventive, very collaborative experience. I knew I couldn't afford to make your basic film, high concept genre film. So I had to really just use what I had. And that included collaborating with my actors. So instead of me asking an actor to act like this and be like that, I had to basically, every actor that I used, I had to basically go, I need you to just be yourself and bring who you are to the table. And I think because I had to do that, it saved me a lot of time. And as I'm working with these certain actors that I'm friends with, that I know with, that I admire, I made sure that what they brought to the table fit into the story versus your basic, because I only had a small budget. I'm like, okay, look, I'm trying to make a feature film in 5 days. So in those 5 days, we're going to be running through scenes abnormally fast, but I'm not going to ask you to stick to a specific script. I have here's your beginning, middle, and end. and we're going to improv and we're going to get through this scene together. And then so that was 5-day shoot. But because everything was improv, I'm in edit for a year crafting what they're saying. I had two cameras. So I always had 2 cameras on, and I had to always make sure that I can restructure some of this dialogue and I restructured the film twice until I finally got it to, now this makes sense. So it was a very explorative experience. It was very risky. It's still a risk, I invested my own money into it.
Wow.
But I like to say that it's a film that's standing out from the other Latino films, which I was really hoping to do. And that's probably the thing I'm most proud of, that it stands out. I think other Latino films, of course, are great, but I wanted to make something that when people see it, they go, Ramon made this. And I think that I was able to do that.
Love that. Dope. Yes, people. Ramon Pesante, a name you should know if you don't know already. That's so awesome. Ramon, thanks for coming on Latinos Out Loud. You're such a good friend. You're such a good talent. I cannot wait for your 2023 Pesante picks. So stay tuned on that, people. Thank you, Ramon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right.
Sonora.